guys, what's up, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. I'm Shelby. It's very nice to make your acquaintance. Today I wanted to do a fun and interesting video, and I think I want to make it a series on my channel. Now, we all know that the beauty world on YouTube and the beauty community is just, I just want to go back to the days when it was like 2011 and no one got mad at each other and there was just world peace. But today I wanted to test out the Emily Edit The Wants palette. Now, this palette had some controversy around it. I want to test this out on my own. This will be a first impressions. I've never used this palette before in my life. I want to talk about the controversy, my opinions on it, what is out there, and whether or not I think this is worth the controversy or not. So if you would like to see me talking and doing a tutorial with this controversial eyeshadow palette, then just go ahead and keep on watching. Okay, so first I'm just going to remove the eye makeup that I already have on my eye. Okay, so eye makeup has been removed. I'm also going to be priming with my MAC Soft Ochre. I'm also going to be priming with my MAC Soft Ochre paint pot, so that way we're giving this as fair of a chance as possible. I'm also going to just be laying a base of translucent powder underneath my eyes, so that way we can see, you know, if there's any fallout with this palette and your girl's not looking to ruin her already done face makeup. Okay, so jumping into this palette, I bought this on Ulta.com, which you can still get for $20. It comes in a really big package, honestly. It's very big. I feel like $20 is a really good value. So obviously that's also going to go into like whether or not I think this palette is worth it. At the end of the day, we have to understand that this is not just Emily Noel's palette, right? This is Revolution Makeup that has created this palette where she has picked out the shades and stuff like that. But again, she's not, you know, like what Laura Lee and Manny are doing, where they are actually formulating the shadows themselves. Okay, this is what it looks like. It's in this nice, it's a pretty weighty palette, if I do say so myself. So this is what it looks like when I open it up. Oh my gosh, it has the biggest mirror ever, which is super nice. It does have this little plastic sheet covering it up, but I will say it didn't do a very good job. It looks like we got a little bit of like kick up, but all the shades still seem to be intact. I will say I have gotten stuff like this where like powders places on like palettes by Natasha Denona that are like $129. I absolutely love the color selection of this palette. I will say it has a lot of sort of cooler toned shades, which is very nice. I love the color story of this. I feel like a lot of the colors are more muted, which personally I feel like are better for the eye. You know, it's not like a Jeffree Star palette where you're gonna have like a really poppy blue or a yellow or anything. So I feel like this is kind of a way for beginners to sort of dip into colors besides, you know, your neutrals, like your browns and stuff. I'm just going to start kind of doing an eye look. I kind of want to do something using this Belle Violet shade, this purpley shade. I'm going to stay away from the browns because that is my go-to, and I really want to put this palette to work. Okay, so first I'm going to be taking a little flat shader brush. I'm going to dip into the cream, which is a nice, just like a white shade. Let's talk about the controversy behind this palette, because that's what, we know that's what everyone wants to talk about. This palette, I believe it came out in, I want to say like October of 2018. This palette came out, I saw Kathleen Light do a review on it, and she was talking about Emily Noel and how much she loved Emily Noel. And I'm gonna be honest, I used to watch Emily Noel, but I think she kind of got lost in all of the beauty YouTuber hype. I was watching her and I love her style because it's very old school YouTube, and then I just kind of got used to the like really nice backgrounds and the really like amazing quality of all the beauty YouTubers. That was like what YouTube was transitioning into, and so honestly I just kind of like forgot about her channel. Next I'm going to take Prayer, which is like this pinky brownish shade. I'm just going to start building up the crease. What do I want to take next? So I'm going to go into the shade Cheer, which is this red, beautiful cranberry shade down at the bottom, and I'm going to go into my crease. Kathleen Light said she had a palette. I saw it and I was really interested. And then I saw that Tati had also reviewed it. Now at this point, Jeffree Star, Manny MUA, Laura Lee, nobody was reviewing this palette. Like, and I don't mean that to be like no one at all, but the bigger channels were not reviewing it, which typically when bigger channels don't review products that another beauty creator and influencer has created, I feel like it's because they don't like the quality. They've tried the palette out, they didn't like it, and they just don't want to post a video. A lot of YouTubers say that they would rather just like not say anything and not put a review up than to bash another influencer because karma. I'm gonna go into the shade High Five. It's kind of like a reddish purple. So far, I'm liking these colors actually. Like, I feel like they're blending very well. Tati had reviewed this palette, and going into it, I feel like I could just tell that she didn't like Makeup Revolution to begin with. I don't know if her and the company had some sort of issue or what exactly, but every single thing I've heard her say about Makeup Revolution, which was literally just in that video, was just like not good. I don't really understand why. She like praises Morphe. I honestly am liking these shades. Like, I feel like they're not patchy at all. Now, she did preface it and say like this has nothing to do with Emily Noel, which again, like for instance, if like you do a collab with a makeup company and you know, they're like a Morphe or something, you have to expect that the shadows are not going to be as amazing again as like a Tarte palette that is reflected in the price that you pay. But she was just kind of like, I can't get anything to work, blah, blah, blah. And here's what I feel. Here's what I feel. I feel that Emily Noel, being the person who she is and being a very just like more quiet, less known YouTuber, I almost felt like Tati had this opportunity to where she was doing all these reviews of like Jeffree Star's makeup and Manny MUA's and Laura Lee's makeup, and she was saying great things about everything. And I feel like that was because the Manny MUA, Laura Lee, Jeffree Star, James Charles, Jaclyn Hill at the time, they were just so powerful that if she said anything bad, it would negatively affect her channel and she would have people coming after her in the comments just bashing her to shreds. With Emily Noel, however, by the way, I'm going to go into the shade Family, but Emily Noel was kind of this like almost an easy target. And I feel like because she wanted her reputation to be a trustworthy YouTuber, she almost saw this as an opportunity to prove a point, to basically throw Emily Noel under the bus, say bad things about this palette so that people would be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how trustworthy Tati is because she just bashed another YouTuber's palette. That's how you know that she's trustworthy, because girl's not afraid to come after another YouTuber and speak the truth, honey. I just felt like Emily Noel was an easy target, and I don't know, that's how I feel. I feel like Tati's been going in this weird direction where, like, let's be honest, drama gets traction on YouTube, drama gets views, and as much as I hate to say that and I hate to see it going in that direction, the more controversial you are and the more you like spill the tea and throw shade at other influencers, the more it will actually help you out. And I think Tati has kind of realized that, because every single time she has spoken badly about the guy Jared Blandino at Too Faced, when she talks bad about James Charles now at this point, she talks about this palette. I feel like every single time she has done this, we have seen her subscriber count go up. Taking a flat shader brush, I'm going to go into that Belt Violet shade, this beautiful sort of a periwinkle shade. I'm going to try it first dry because I always do my shades dry first. And okay. I mean, yeah. This shade is actually really pretty. Okay, it's working perfectly fine. I'm gonna be honest, at this point, I feel like this palette is just as good as like Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. Is it like the most pigmented shadows I've ever used or the most reflective shadows I've ever used? No. But for 20 bucks, like, I'm actually really loving this. Look at me doing a different look, something else that I don't normally do. Purple. Purple also, I feel like purple makes blue eyes look a little bit more, instead of like a really bright, vibrant blue, it almost makes them like an ocean, kind of a gray-y blue. I don't know, it's fun to try different colors with, you know, your different colored eyes. Going back into the shade Family and darkening up the outside again. And then I'm going to go back into the shade Pi-Fi and I'm going to define the crease a little bit more. So after Tati had done this whole video, basically just saying how she didn't like it, she wished that she had done a collab with someone else, which I don't think you can really pick and choose who you want to collab with. It's very like in brand for Emily Noel, especially because she does review a lot of drugstore brands, to work with a company that was the drugstore pricing. Okay, so far there was no fallout. I love this eye look, I love it. So this is the first eye look. I really want to put on mascara and liner and call it a day, but because I have more controversy and thoughts to talk about, let's wipe this off and then we're gonna try out some different colors and do a different look. But so far, so impressed with the purpley and pinky shades. I like them. Okay, next look, I think I want to do this color story down here. First, I'm gonna go in with this Hobby shade. It's just a nice, almost like a warmer sort of yellowy brown, and I'm just going to go into the crease. After Tati put up her video, all that good stuff, this girl named Kiki Chanel, I believe, she did this video basically like saying, Tati, I don't understand, these shadows work really well. This Kiki girl had like, we'll say 160-ish thousand subscribers at the time. So she was significantly smaller than Tati. I think Tati at the time had a couple million, maybe like 3 million, 4 million, somewhere around there. And, you know, she kind of basically, you could say, called Tati out. Now this girl, I will say, I have watched her videos in the past. She is just one of those girls who kind of like is very blunt, says it like it is. And she made this video and Tati got really offended. So now I'm going to go into the shade Midwest, which is a warmer sort of brown shade. And I'm just going to, again, continue to build that crease up. Listen, I think Tati is very, very sensitive. And I'm a very sensitive human being too, trust me. However, what I have noticed in just work in general is sometimes there's a place and a time for everything. I just feel like Tati has just gotten into like this, I'm not going to be a doormat anymore. I'm going to stand up for myself and I'm going to say it like it is. Going in with the shade Apartment, while sometimes I get it, I think you should stand up for yourself. I think sometimes it's actually better to just let it go. She really losing that many subscribers over it. Again, I think it was like an opportunity for Tati to go back and get more subscribers by throwing this girl under the bus. Like, it just became this like very unnecessary video. And in the beginning of the video, she threw out these tweets about how like there was issues with this palette. Now, what she didn't understand was that the issues with the palette had nothing to do with, you know, the formulation, had everything to do with the fact that some of the palettes had mold in them. That's not an Emily Noel thing. That is an issue with the lab. I think she was like trying to prove a point of like, see, I told you guys I wasn't lying. There is a formulation issue. I was right, but like in all reality, she wasn't right. I think the shadows, maybe just Tati didn't like the blend on them. Tati didn't like how they worked out. And I think it kind of goes to show you, like, for instance, some people really love Natasha Denona shadows and how they blend, and other people just like don't. I don't think that means that one person is right or wrong. I think it's simply like preference on how you like your shadows to blend and to look and to perform. And while I do think Tati is entitled to her own opinion, I think there are ways to go about delivering that message and doing it in a respectful way. At the end of the day, Tati just should have left the whole thing alone when it came to the Kiki Chanel girl and just like sucked it up. Now I'm going to go into the shade Top Story. I'm going to press this all over my lid, and I'm using my finger because I want to see how it performs with a finger. So it basically performs the same on the finger as with a brush. With a brush, you just have to work with it, I would say, a little bit more. The Top Story shade, it's not the most metallic I would like it to be. I would say it performs very similar to a Morphe eyeshadow palette. You know, it's fine. It's not the best in the world, but I think it's pretty. Okay, next I'm going to go into the shade Corduroy, and I am going to put it on the outer edge, and that's going to just kind of bring that green color in. Hopefully this color works and it doesn't get muddy looking. So right now it is a little, it's so dark looking in the pan. So I already know I'm gonna have to build this up a little bit, but it's pretty. I think it's just a little more subtle, a little more lackluster than what it is in the pan. But I mean, again, it's a drugstore shadow. I think that it's great for people who want to support other people who they admire and like, and they just want to support. And I think for that reason, I didn't like the way Tati kind of approached this. And even if she didn't like the palette, I just think, again, I feel like she was just very harsh. I'm actually going to use this Dark and Early shade now to do a little bit of liner. And I do this all the time. I really love taking eyeshadows. It's just kind of a more toned down version to where you'll have a little bit of that definition like an eyeliner would, but it's just not as intense. Hey guys, so this is the eye look with mascara on. I'm just going to do like a little bit of a lip. Okay, so overall my thoughts on this palette is I feel like the controversy of this palette was just not warranted. Now, I feel like if this palette did have mold in it, that's a separate problem in itself, but the fact that the palette had mold in it and it got less controversy than what Tati had to say about the palette and then what this Kiki girl had to say about the palette. I feel that Tati was too harsh on this from my experience with it. I think it's a really good palette. I think that you will be satisfied with this. Now, if you're expecting it to be some like high quality and you're used to your super, super high-end shadows and you expect nothing less, then like obviously you're not going to be buying this. But this is targeted for people who are fine with shopping at the drugstore, will spend 20 bucks on an eyeshadow palette, and I think that it's a good palette. So that is going to be it for today's video. If you guys do like this whole little controversy palette, I would love to do something with the Jaclyn Hill lipsticks or her eyeshadow palette or something like that, kind of talking about all the controversy that is around Jaclyn Hill. And we know there's a lot of controversy around her. Maybe we could do something with like a Laura Lee palette. I think it could be fun. Leave below in the comments if there's any palette or makeup product that is by an influencer who has had some controversy swirling around them and you would like me to do a review on that. Let me know down in the comments below. Also, be sure and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.